Uh, he didn't really give us very many pitches to hit today. It was this slider, cutter, sinker combination of his curveball, and just didn't seem like he made many mistakes today.
On the flip side, it seemed like Sonny Gray really labored. What was he having trouble with?
Well, I mean, they just put long at bats on him. Again, he gives up the 2 runs in the 5 innings, which we didn't get the distance we want out of him, but he kept it within reach, and they just made him really work.
It's the first time in his career, I believe, that he did not have at least 1 strikeout. Is that just a product of the long at-bats, fouling pitches off?
They fouled a lot off today, and that's how they got into long counts. Didn't seem like he was really behind, but, they kept fouling pitches off, and we'll get to better counts.
Shows the lack of length from Gray since he's been here. I mean, I know he's been solid, but not to go beyond 6 innings. Is that a concern?
No, not really. You look at his track record, and, it's kind of been that way. And I thought he was a little rusty when we first got him just from the layoff. But, I think today was a product of them putting good at-bats on him.
How do you think Chapman was in the
Pretty
6th
good.
and 7th?
He came in and did his job. So, you walk the leadoff hitter in the 7th, I believe it was, and then, ball gets away from Gary. And then they, Betts, Deeks, Judge, and he gets the 3rd, and he ends up getting out of the inning. So I thought he did a pretty good job.
You mentioned Betts. Is that just a good heads-up base running play there, or is that a matter where Judge needs to be a little quicker?
It's both.
2 weekends in a row against these guys and them coming out on top both times.
I mean, it's not what you want. Obviously, we need to continue to play well, so when they come to our place, it means something. We probably had a chance to win 4 of the 6, and we end up winning 2 of the 6, and that's frustrating. But, I still think we're playing pretty decent baseball, and we need that to continue. We get an off day, which I think is important. I think it's been an emotional 10 days, and we got to go back to work Tuesday.
Joe, I know you said before the game, and you've said about Judge that he's still getting his walks and all, but how long can you ride with a 3 hitter that's not really driving the ball, not getting too many extra base hits?
I still believe in it, and you can look at that, but there were a lot of other guys that didn't get hits today. So if I move him to 6th or 7th, does it make a difference?
Going on 6 weeks now.
I know, but again, I told you I thought his at-bats have been getting better. Maybe today they weren't. I'd have to look at them closely, but I thought his at-bats have been getting better.
So, Joe, does that mean Tuesday in Detroit he's your 3rd place hitter?
Yeah, that's my plan. I don't have, I haven't looked at, exactly what we're doing, but that's my plan, yeah.
Does that change? When you're not getting, kind of that sort of production from that spot in the order, what sort of, I don't know, handicap's the right word, but just how do you sort of manufacture
production all throughout a lineup? Look how we got beat today. Who beat us today? The 8-9 guys. Okay, you need production throughout the order. Everyone has to carry the weight. If you're relying on one guy, it's going to be a long year, right? And he's going to have his ups and downs just like everybody else, just like Gary Sanchez has had, just like Didi's had, just like Gardy's had, just like everyone in that line. Headley's had, and you got to ride it out. And the belief is that it's going to ride its way out. I know if you look at some of the hitters that we've missed in it, maybe you do something different if guys are back. But this guy's, when you look at his numbers, they're pretty darn good. So I think he's due for a good streak. And when he does, it's really going to help.
Joe, do you get any sense that the strikeouts are weighing on him, the streak and all that?
I haven't. I continue to watch and check in every day and see how he's doing. And you get a pulse of, sometimes your players from other people. But I have not sensed that, no. I think, the lack of production in the sense that he had in the first half is more important to him than the strikeouts, the lack of that.
Joe, just following up on that, do you think, not necessarily as a demotion, but do you think hitting him elsewhere in the lineup would take a weight off his shoulders and allow him, similar to what you've done with Chapman?
Yeah, well, I have not got to that point yet, and again, I said I thought he had made some adjustments. His at-bats have been improving. We've seen some pretty good pitching, too. We really have. Cleveland, Boston again. We've seen some pretty, Faced DeGrom's a pretty good pitcher. You know, we faced some pretty good pitchers. So, and it's not like we have a lot of people that are swinging the bat extremely well. That, you know, could I move him a spot or two? Yeah, but he's going to come up in big spots. I can tell you that.
Joe, what is it about the Red Sox? Gray didn't have a strikeout. They've gotten to Chapman and they gotten to Canely. What is it about?
They have a deep lineup and they have a good lineup. And there's not a lot of strikeout guys in their lineup. There's a lot of contact guys that do have some power. Maybe not the power they've had in the past, but I mean they're going to hit their home runs. But they're a contact team.
He's given up a lot more base runners in the past 8 or 9 appearances than he's accustomed to. I know you've just got him, but is there anything that you've seen that is concerning?
Not really. I mean, it's mistakes too, you know, he's had a really good year, and we got to get him back on track too.
Joe, how could you pick up on something with Judge if something was weighing on him, like if he's taking something out to the field with him, like maybe that play?
Yeah,
with
I mean, that's a legitimate question. Do you question that maybe it is weighing on him a little bit? I'll try to get a feel for that.